Today, I got to interview one of the most talented and personally vibiest pros in BMark. Now, Stakers, obviously we know BMark being drafted by Intex, they didn't necessarily have the best start to their season, going 3-7. So I had to ask them a few questions about how him and Intex were able to turn this season around and look like a real threat for playoffs.
Yeah, I know. I think it's to be expected when you first start playing with someone new to struggle a little bit at the start, especially when you're playing against teams that were together last season and they already have their strats and all that stuff down. Yeah, we had a slow start. I think we were 3-7 or something, but we hit the VODs at one point, came up with some strats, and then I just started playing faster. I was playing really slow at the start of the season, just kind of anchoring with an AR, but that's not really my playstyle. I like to make plays, and because I feel like I have a good idea based on the info that I get during a round where they're playing.
Yep.
And then I like to make plays myself based off that. So, oh yeah, we're pumped. We're on the uptrend right now, and I think we're peaking at the perfect time.
I then wanted to dive into the ins and outs of how they worked as a duo, both on and off the map. I mean, talk to me a little bit about Intex. Obviously, he's the captain, he drafted you, but it feels like for you in Intex, it seems like you guys kind of have more of like a 50-50 duo-ship rather than some of the other teams where you see, the captain kind of carrying the load a lot more.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, me personally, I think I'm good enough to be a captain, to be honest. So I think we got like a really good team where we have two players who can step up if the other guy's maybe having a bad map, because it's 2v2s, right? You're not going to have a good map every single map. So it's just a matter of whether I can step it up when he's having a bad map or if he can step it up when I'm having a bad map. And I think we're one of the few teams that has that dynamic.
Some people would have said that you got a little bit better of a teammate this season than maybe last season. Talk to me a little bit about how it's been personally playing with Intex as a guy, right? Because it seems like you guys are always vibing. It seems like you guys are always having a good time. Even in some of the games that are tough losses, even you guys are able to shake those off and kind of move right on to the next game. So kind of talk to me a little bit about Intex. Maybe not as personally as the in-game stuff, maybe a little bit of the out-game stuff.
I've gotten to know him a little bit better out of game as well, and he's a super cool dude, well known in the scene. He's a veteran, and we don't really get shook by losses. Maybe we do in the moment, just we're kind of pissed off when we lose, but it's not going to affect us for the next game or the next games coming forward. So I think we both have a strong mentality, and his ability to just bounce back.
Next up, I wanted to get into his background a little bit and figure out just how long he's been ripping heads on the map.
Well, if you want my OG start, I started back in the original MW2 when I was 10 or 11 years old, playing on a big 60-inch TV.
Absolutely.
Competitive wise, I started in Black Ops 3, near the end of Black Ops 3, actually through the in-game CWL viewer. I didn't even know about competitive COD until I saw that, and then got a monitor, got a Battle Beaver controller, and then I've just started grinding S&D, and then I switched to Warzone when Warzone came out, and I've been competing in S&D throughout the CODs as well. So I'd consider myself a vet as well, to be honest.
I mean, BO3, I think it definitely gets you the vet status. I mean, dude, you might be creeping up on UNC status if we've been competing since BO3.
Hey,
bro.
chill.
Now, Stakers, don't worry. I didn't let him off easy. Before I let him get back to his very busy schedule of putting people on skates, I had to ask him the tough questions. What's your favorite COD though? Favorite COD of all time? This is a big question because people get very butthurt about this question, right? There's a lot of wrong answers, I feel like, but there's definitely a few right answers.
I'm gonna go with a little bit of a hot take here and say IW.
Ooh, that is a super hot take. IW, why? I gotta give you some reasoning here. Why is IW the GOAT?
There was just a big skill gap in that game, right? There was not much aim assist. There's even been some clips circulating on Twitter of Dashy watching the old CODs and how little aim assist there was. So you really had to shoot straight, and you could use the movement to your advantage. You could be high wall running, you could wall bounce off walls, and it just took a lot more skill in my opinion, whereas nowadays it feels like the game kind of aims for you.
So favorite COD, IW. What's the worst COD of all time?
Worst COD's gotta be the new MW2.
Yeah, that's
whatever they did that year. Oh my god.
So Stakers, that was an interview with just one of our many talented pros here inside of the 1v1me League, and I want to know who you want to see next.